doing eyebrow crunches, you know, to like
eyebrow dance.
Yeah. You know, I used to get made fun of for my eyebrows in high school. You know, the mean kids used to tell me, they used to say my eyebrows look like there were two caterpillars walking on my face.
You know, when you're not here, me and Rocco make fun of your eyebrows.
I know. It hurt me deeply, but I've recovered, guys. Don't worry. What is going on, Crypto Familia? Happy Tuesday, and welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. I am one of your co-hosts, David, and we are coming at you from our studio here, and it has stopped raining, Las Vegas, Nevada, with our daily, only on the weekdays live shows. Now, before we get into the content, quick disclaimer, nothing that anyone, even guests, even the chat, say in this channel should be taken as financial advice. So please, as always, do your own research. That being said, I'd like to introduce you to your other co-host, Big Rob. What's up?
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, and the stale information, and we package it up in a fun and sexy way. Also, here at Sin City Crypto, we don't just do live streams. We actually have tons of new content in the pipeline. So, don't want to miss it. Know where I'm going with this? Notification bell. Our notification bell metric is way down. I don't know exactly where it is, but it ain't good enough. And then if you could do us a favor, come support us with this badass sign I made that David is super jealous of. It is a like button sign. And if you haven't liked this video, what the hell wrong with you? If you were watching this and you are not subscribed, what the hell is wrong with you? And then lastly, what the hell is wrong with me?
Where do we start? And Rob, congrats on another win on Around the Blockchain.
Ah, man.
That was good. That was one of your better shows, man. That was good. Yeah, that was good, man. You were just like, what you were, some of the stuff you were talking about as far as, you know, like the stats and facts, pretty good, man. So that was great. Congratulations.
Yeah,
See, that is how you compliment someone.
You know what I will compliment? I will compliment Around the Blockchain and the Hit Network, Ben, for hosting all of that. So without that badass platform, we'd be a lot lower on the subscribers.
We'd be at like 1,200.
So much love, Ben, and the Hit Squad Network. If you guys are watching, thank you so much. We always appreciate it. You give smaller platforms an opportunity.
And I know a lot of our community members came over from. Speaking of community members, where the hell is Strictly Sports? Wasn't here Friday.
Has it been a little while?
Wasn't here yesterday. HP hasn't been here.
Huh?
Yeah. What the hell wrong with you guys? Anyways, before we get into the roll call, if you are watching this video after the fact, we will have timestamps provided so you can navigate freely as you please. But we always recommend watching from beginning to end. Today, we have a very special guest joining us, David Morrison from Near Protocol.
Another David?
Another David. Double D. D squared. Will be joining us in about 10 minutes to talk about Near, the platform, what they're doing, some exciting partnerships and utilities. We're also going to be talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a DAO that is about to go under. Are NFTs in trouble? And lending and borrowing platforms are raising rates once again. What is this going to spell for the lending market? Are we going to see another Terra Luna situation? Are they getting too greedy again? We'll talk about that. So with that being said, I'd like to send it over to Robin for the roll call.
Roll call.
You don't say it twice. When I say it, you just do it.
All right. So first in the chat here, we had Jimmy.
Okay, hold on.
Round of applause for Jimmy.
Can you just pronounce his last name as Weibel? Jimmy Weibel.
Jimmy.
I tried, Jimmy. I'm sorry.
All right. And then we got Jason, Broke Yoshi, Marky Mark, and then Why You Loud Gang. Not a lot of people in here today. Shizzy, Mervin, Broke Yoshi, Fino, Chusei, Nick D's, Hit or Miss, Hindi, Infinite Crypto in here. Hey, good to see you, brother. Infinite Crypto is one of our buddies. Also got a YouTube channel. Go check him out. Liquidated Shorts, K Factor, Hindi, Blake. And then we got TCT, Tree City West. He has 16 missed calls. I'm assuming that's
on his phone, or
I don't know. Maybe that's my buddy that made the song. The 16 missed calls. That's you. You're my Call of Duty homie. Let me know. Anyways, And then we also we have the Discord also open as well. Thank you. Big round of applause to Marky Mark for putting that together for us.
It is a community ran Discord, guys. Okay, so keep that in mind. And we also, Robin, Rocco, and I, we pop in from time to time. To Robin just pops in to put the eye emoji. Rocco pops in to let us know he is still the Don, and I'm just in there just randomly.
So TCT, and also we got Crypto 420. They are new here. So to you, hola, welcome to Sin City Crypto.
420. I wonder why.
It's Vegas, baby. Weed is legal in Vegas.
Yes.
And so is Bitcoin.
Why would you assume it's weed? Handy, what's up, Handy? How you doing, man?
All right.
All right.
Let's go. What do we got? What's in slate today?
Before we bring Nier on, Rocco, go ahead and pull up my laptop. So this is the most active investors in blockchain companies by top 100 top companies across the globe. Coming in at number 1, you have Alphabet. If you don't know Alphabet, I'm sure you know Google. Well, Alphabet is the parent company of Google. They've invested a little over 1.5 billion, mainly in Dapper Labs. That is one of our favorite projects here on the channel. We will be focusing a little more on Flow content. We'll be putting out videos every few weeks on Flow, keeping you in the know. An absolutely amazing project. That is one of my top picks to really take off in the bull run.
What was that? Crypto Blood was not a fan of Flow. Remember that?
He was not. But guess what? I am a fan of Flow.
We like Flow here.
And just because he disagrees doesn't mean I don't like the guy. See, guys, we can disagree and still love each other.
You see, here's the thing. You gotta bring people onto the space that that also have opposing views. Because if you just surround yourself with people that are like-minded, then at that point, you're never gonna hear anything that needs to be addressed. You know what I'm saying? Like any concerns. And so, I mean, you can look at Celsius. There was obviously a lot of red flags there. You can look at Voyager, and if you just surrounded yourself with people that just confirmed your beliefs and you didn't take outside opinion, you'll never know when danger's on the horizon, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, nothing's perfect. I mean, you can even make a case that Bitcoin, for example, is got issues. I mean, there's extremely unlikely at this point, given that it's been out for 13 years. But I mean, you never know.
You never know. Also, if you want to swoop my laptop back in, Rocco, couple other items of companies of note. BlackRock has invested in 3 rounds, mainly in Circle and FTX. And then Robin talked about this yesterday on Around the Blockchain. Samsung, they put in an application to launch a crypto exchange in South Korea. If you're not familiar with Samsung, they are a $275 billion company. They have their hands in a lot of different areas, obviously consumer electronics, but they're in the blockchain world as well. They have their own wallet. So Robin made a note yesterday. They are the company on this list that have invested in the most rounds, not the most money, but the most rounds. So Robin thinks in the very near future, Samsung will be, you think they'll be successful in the blockchain world, yes?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? If you go anywhere outside of America, you'll see the dominance Samsung has on the tech world. Here in the U.S., we do have Apple as far as like cell phones, but you go to Europe, you go to Asia, it is predominantly Samsung, especially in the Asian countries, and so basically them going all in. Okay, would you be super bullish and excited, David, if say Apple was offering crypto payment services through their Apple Wallet? It would like. You would make thumbnails on that. You would talk about it ad nauseum. You'd come up with all kinds of bullish scenarios. And so, Samsung is pretty damn big. They're a rival with with Apple, and they are invested in crypto. They have a few different venture capital. I think 16 different venture capital projects they have. They have a native blockchain that they're working on. They have a lot of devs working on blockchain. So. They're a little bit more progressive when it comes to this sector versus Apple, if we're going to be on this subject. But I think it's surprising to me that it's not quite as front and center. and people aren't talking about it more because I'm excited, because Samsung, I'm telling you, man, they're, with their apps and dApps and.
I mean, Rocco has a Samsung. You like Samsung, Rocco?
Yeah, actually I do. Everything is PC based for me. I don't have to do cloud and this and that.
Are you throwing
annoying.
shade at Apple?
Yeah, I don't like it.
You don't like Apple?
You know what I don't like? I don't like when we group text and you're the only one that turns everything green. I don't like that.
Okay, change the color.
You can't. That's the point. All right. Without further ado, put a 1 in the chat if you've heard of Near Protocol or you like Near Protocol, because we are bringing on David Morrison from the Near Protocol. So let's go ahead and patch him in. David, how you doing?
Hey.
How are you doing, guys? Really good. Look, you're going to have to forgive me for the quality of the camera, the background. I'm currently moving house. I'm actually at my mum's, and I have no shame in saying that.
Oh, man, you're looking good, man. You're looking good, man.
And your
Don't
name
even
is
worry about
David.
it. Yeah. Too many Davids in here.
It's true. This is true.
No. Hey, before we get into Near, this is a very important question. Barbecue chicken pizza, yes or no?
100%.
What?
What? Is
My
it
man.
a David thing, man?
It's a
You-
David.
David.
Oh,
It's a
God.
David.
All you're missing is some glasses, David, and we're good to go. We're having an
Well,
argument
maybe
here.
one day.
Our producer Rocco, he's like purebred Italian. So when he saw me order a barbecue chicken pizza and we're in Atlanta, he gave me the look like he was going to strangle me with floss. And he's like, "You don't put the barbecue on pizza." So we've been having this debate all week. So I'm just kind of curious to get your take. Anyways,
Well, just wait until you find out about pineapple, right?
yeah. Well, yeah, I don't mind pineapple either. Anyways, so David, do you mind taking maybe a couple minutes? Tell us a little bit about yourself. How you got in with Near Protocol, and we'll just take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is David Morrison, as you can probably tell because I've already been introduced, and I am a part of the Near Foundation. Now, I can give you my journey into crypto. Do you want like the corporate version, or do you want like the truth?
I want the personal version.
Okay, I was at university in 2014, and I was at a party, and somebody said, "Hey, you can buy weed online with Bitcoin." And I said,
There it is.
"No, you can't." And what's Bitcoin? And anyway, I did as university students do for a year, and then I sort of, pulled my finger out my backside, gave my head a shake, and then saw the value in decentralized ecosystems and decentralized money like Bitcoin. And then Ethereum launched, and that was it for me. I was fully down the rabbit hole. And about 13 months ago, somebody approached me and said, "Hey, have you heard of Near Protocol?" And I said, "Absolutely not." But I did some digging, joined the team, and I can honestly say that out of all the ecosystems, and I've touched almost every single one, that I've really found my home here.
And why is that? Can you expand? Like, what was there one thing that you looked at and said, "All right, this is why I'm going with Near versus Ethereum versus Solana versus whatever the case may be"?
So initially it was the people. So I'd had offers from Consensus and a few other blockchain projects, and I was going to take them, and I told that to Nia, and they phoned me back up, and they were like, "Hey, let's just have one more call." And I had that call, and something really clicked then, because it was really clear to me that the people at Nia Foundation were completely attached to the vision and the purpose of decentralized ecosystems, this notion that we're going to launch an open web where everybody has control over their personal digital assets, their data, and their right to governance. And I just didn't see that in a lot of other crypto projects that I'd worked with or interviewed for, but the vibe was really there. And now I can say that it has the tightest knit, most incredible community I've ever been privileged enough to be a part of.
That's amazing. Now, there are tons of layer one projects out there. I mean, we see, in the height of the bull run, we saw a few, felt like almost every day, every week. What makes Near stand out? What makes them unique? Why should a developer build a dApp on Near versus going to Ethereum, which is known as the most secure, obviously the largest? What's kind of your pitch?
Yeah, it's a good question. So Nia has marketed itself as, and rightly so, as the most developer-friendly blockchain in the entire crypto ecosystem right now. So we recently just launched JavaScript support, a JavaScript SDK, which will allow more than 20 million JavaScript developers worldwide to dive straight into the world of Web3 without the need for learning a new language like Rust or Solidity, although we do still support Rust, and our Aurora EVM supports Solidity as well. The documentation is incredible. We have daily office hours with the team where if you're developing something, you can go there and you can ask questions and you really get to know the protocol and understand it. But honestly, I think the killer feature here, which differentiates Nia hugely, is the fact that if you write a smart contract on Nia, you get 30% of all of the transaction fees that are used when interacting with that smart contract. So you only need to build one incredible killer dApp, and it solves this problem of funding for open source goods, right? So you can build a public good that everybody uses without charging them and still make lifetime revenue from that.
You know, for me, before I hand it off to Robin, I know he's got a couple questions. For me, what was impressive was this this dynamic sharding that the Near protocol has, as far as being able to permissionlessly essentially split shards if there's more demand and combine them when there's not enough demand. So for me, I'm like a fundamental / technical guy. I'm like a nerd in that sense. Robin could really care less, to be honest. But for me, that was extremely impressive. And so, like, if you were to ask me that question, that's probably what I would say. And so for anyone watching, if you're not familiar with Near, and correct me if I'm wrong, David, I don't think there's any other layer one, let's just say in the top 200, that has that dynamic sharding in there, right?
No, I don't believe so. And I think, you know, Alex Skidinov and Ilya Polasukin, the co-founders of Near, really solved like a pretty fundamental computer science problem when they developed Nightshade, which is that sharding mechanism you referred to. But I think the beauty of it is that even as a developer, and certainly as a user, you don't need to worry about that, right? It just works, and that's the whole point.
Right.
So I'm pretty excited about the gaming kind of side of Near protocol. For me, I think there's a lot of good-looking games that appear to be fun at face value. I know a lot of this play to earn, it can kind of get very cheesy looking on the graphics, and I don't know, man. It seems like the community is behind it, so I think there's a big solid player base that is supporting the gaming side there. But also your dApps and developers that are building these games seem to be ahead of the competition, at least in my opinion. I mean, maybe Gala Games would be somebody that's kind of similar, but I mean, outside of that, you guys are standing on your own when it comes to the gaming.
And you know what? I am before you comment, David, I'm happy you brought up gaming because I have a video. This was posted in April, but what games are built on the Near blockchain? So I like to play about a minute of this, and then David, if you can, we can discuss after we're done. Okay. All right. Ready, Rocco? Okay. Are you a gamer, by the way, David?
Absolutely, man. I probably spend too many hours on those than I should, but certainly not as much since I fell down that crypto rabbit hole, right?
True. Are you a Call of Duty player?
Not anymore, because I kept getting wrecked by kids.
Maybe one of those kids was Robin. Robin touts himself as how many wins you have in Warzone? 500?
Over 500.
Over 500.
Wow.
All right. Let's go ahead and play the video.
Nearverse.
Now, David, have you played any of these games? I know you said you don't really have time, but have you like kind of dabbled in any of these games?
I haven't played them yet. The one that's on screen now, Battle Lemon, I believe launches very, very soon, and I regularly check the website to see if it's launched yet. But as soon as it does, I'm definitely going to be all in.
Hey, David, co-host, can you fast forward to like the last like 30 seconds? There's a game there that looks really good. Yeah, leave it here. And then after this one, I was kind of poking around your guys' ecosystem. I ran into, saw this game yesterday.
Black Snow?
No,
X-Verse?
X-Verse, yeah. This looks appealing to me. So this is what I was kind of like, man, you want to talk about like gaming when it comes to the your competition? I haven't seen anything like this. And so that's why I'm like, man, you guys have locked it in with the dApps and developers because looks good, man. Looks like something I see my kid just playing for hours, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, hopefully, I mean, we're really lucky because that video was actually produced by Human Guild, and Human Guild was founded by one of the ex-core members of Nia Protocol. Super smart guy called Sasha, and he basically finds these teams who want to build games and just funds them and says, hey, experiment, right? And it's really important to acknowledge that we are still in that experimental phase, and I don't think we're going to see a AAA game on blockchain anytime soon. But if we do, I can totally make the case and see Nia being that blockchain that it's used for.
Okay. Now, a question I have is, are there any exciting utilities that are coming? I know that you guys have the convention in Portugal, I believe in September, right?
Hold on, let me
Yes.
intervene here. I am Portuguese, by the way. I go there quite often. I think my son's there right now, actually. Just a disclaimer there.
Thank you for that, Robin. We appreciate it. David, and if you didn't know, Robin's from Portugal. So anything you could tell us as far as some exciting partnerships, utilities that's coming on near? Maybe some things you can expand on?
Yeah, so I can't drop too much alpha, but what I would say is that if you are on the fence as to whether or not you should come to Niacon in September, it's 11th to 14th in Lisbon, Portugal, in a 70,000 square foot warehouse where we've got some incredible talks from the likes of Ryan Selkis from Mazari. We've got people from Circle there. We've got Brendan Ike, the founder of JavaScript and now the CEO of Brave, and of course, Ilya Polasukin, the co-founder of Nia Protocol as well. So we do usually time those conferences to be aligned with certain things that we might announce. But of course, I might get the sack if I share any news on that.
Is
but I
there
would like
any
to comment
hints
on,
you can drop?
go to Niacon. Straight
Go to
up,
Niacon.
if you can't.
All right.
make
Do you
it,
need a
right? That's all
translator?
I can do.
Do you need a translator there? Because your boys, I'm ready to hire, man. I'll pack up the mobile studio. We'll translate. I'll film some stuff.
Guys, if you want tickets, we'll get you tickets.
Oh, that's amazing. All right. Now, here's another question. What are some real world problems that Near is kind of looking to fix or improve?
It's a great question because it's a general purpose layer one blockchain. It can identify and tackle all of the major problems that that traditional blockchains like Ethereum could tackle. So this idea of the unbanked population, this idea of taking away centralized power from authoritarian regimes and putting it back in the hands of the people. And Nia is well equipped to do all that, but I think we've got a huge differentiator, and that's usability, right? So if you download Phantom, make a Solana wallet, you download MetaMask, you create an Ethereum wallet, or whatever EVM chain you want to take, and you're given a 45-digit hexadecimal string that begins with 0x, and that's your public key, which is your what. Like, that's just insane when you think about it, right? It's okay for us and the people watching who are totally familiar with the space, but at Nia, we've integrated usability almost at the protocol level, and that permeates all the dApps that are building on Nia. So if you create a Nia wallet now, you'll be given the option as soon as you create it to create a human readable name. So just like ENS, except you don't have to pay to rent it for X amount of years, and you don't have to pay extortionate gas fees. So I think we can achieve this vision of a decentralized world, but we can do it in a way that is fast, it's cheap to use, it's accessible, and going back to my previous answer, it solves this issue of funding for public goods through the 30% transaction fee rebate in the smart contracts.
A question: can you take that that name? So basically, a human readable name for the wallet address. Can you expand on that and use it as far as like website domains or integrated into other dApps? Are you expanding on that kind of vision, or are you just kind of keeping it as hey, this is basically my email address kind of deal?
So not yet, but if there's a developer watching and they think they could tackle that mission, then reach out, because we would love to see something like that funded in the space.
And speaking of developers, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Near has the biggest pot of money for essentially to give out to developers. I read somewhere about $850 million or so. Is that true?
Yeah, so last Niacon, we launched an $800 million ecosystem development fund, which was one of, if not the largest in the entire space. And that was partially reserved for funding projects. It was partially reserved for creating a fund of funds, so allowing projects which are prominent in the space and key players to fund their own grant programs. And then a part of it was reserved for regional hub growth, so making sure that our communities that are on the ground have access to all the funding they need in order to build those communities in their local areas. But on the development side, yeah, I mean, look, the sky's the limit. If you've got an incredible project and you've got a solid team, head to near.org/grants. There's tons of funders in this ecosystem. It's not just the Near Foundation, despite the Near Foundation having a significant sum.
Now, I know Near was kind of founded in 2017, but I believe the mainnet launched in about 2020. Now, there is, some people say there's only about 70 to 80 validators. They're saying it's pretty centralized. What do you say to people that say that?
I mean, there's 100 validators right now. And is it centralized? Well, no single validator has control of the whole stake, and all validators are completely separate entities. So I would argue that it's not. Could there be more in terms of decentralization? Absolutely. Is there more steps taken towards decentralization? Yes, 100%. So we've just launched Stake Wars, which is essentially a gamified way to encourage people to become validators on the Near mainnet. But they're a special type of validator, and it's part of this Nightshade sharding implementation. It's the first phase of it, and they're called chunk-only producers. So instead of having to validate the whole block the whole network, they only validate a particular chunk of it, and this will actually increase decentralization, reduce the requirements for people to become validators, and it's just another step towards that completely globally decentralized ecosystem that we're looking to achieve. We're not there yet, but we'll get there.
No, I came across some pretty positive news in the Near ecosystem. I think last night or this morning. So, Rock, you want to pull up my laptop real quick? So we have the hacker. I'm sure you're familiar with this, but a hacker loses 5 Ethereum in a failed attack on Near Rainbow Bridge. The bridges have been a point of failure for many blockchains. We've seen the likes of Harmony One have a huge exploit, Ronin,
Axie,
the Axie Infinity issue. And so it's refreshing to see somebody handle an attack. And maybe you guys are just keeping it, or putting this out publicly. Maybe it's more commonplace, but I'm in the camp that I believe it's probably not. And so for me, I'm in this like, hey man, you guys are doing something right. You got Alex, your boy here, coming out and tweeting on the Rainbow Bridge attack during the weekend. He basically said that the automated watchdogs that you have there protecting the bridge took down the hacker within 31 seconds. At a cost for 5 Ethereum for the hacker. So,
hold on, they took down the hacker, and the hacker lost 5 ETH.
Yep. That's and they go into there's a little bit more detail on how that's done, but in a nutshell, that's kind of thing. Are you were you familiar with this hack attempt?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's not actually the first time that somebody has tried a similar hack like that, and the hack in May resulted in exactly the same result. What I will comment on is that Alex Shevchenko, who was the gentleman in that tweet, the CEO of Aurora Labs, which is the EVM solution built on Near, the amount of funding these guys pump into security is astronomical. They are actually responsible for distributing the second largest bounty for a white hat hacker in the crypto space ever. And that was $6 million just a few months back. So these guys take it seriously.
Yeah, I saw that he also had a message for the hacker. And then, let's see. Yeah, here's kind of to expand on what you were saying. It was great to see the activity. This is to the hacker. It was great to see the activity from your end. But if you actually want to make something good, instead of stealing users' money and have a hard time trying to launder it, you have an alternative: the bug bounty. So it sounds like you're incentivizing the community out here, hackers or just coders in general, to help secure the network. So.
North Korea doesn't care about white hat hacking. I mean,
but you got to put your defenses up, man. Pay other people to do it.
Yeah. All right, now David, kind of just to wrap this up, what do you think Near is going to look like, say 5-10 years from now, and how does that fit into what you think the crypto ecosystem will look like, by then?
So by that time, the Near Foundation will have taken a big step back in terms of the amount that it does in the ecosystem. We'll have decentralized a lot of the processes like grants and funding. Near itself as a protocol will be vastly more decentralized. And I do believe by that time we will have reached our goal of 1 billion users on chain. But how does this happen, and how does it fold into the wider crypto ecosystem in 5 to 10 years' time? I mean, look, we're not going to get there without mass market applications. And mass market applications are not going to require you to create a MetaMask wallet or to create a Near wallet even. Certainly not in the way that we do it today. The blockchain is going to run in the background, transparently, open and accessible to anybody who wants to access it. But for you to reap the features and the benefits, and for the blockchain to remove and to code away that middleman, you're not going to have to see it happen, but you can make sure that it's happened, right? Don't trust, verify.
That's true. All right.
Love it.
I got a personal question.
Here we go.
If you didn't work for Near, what was your backup company you were going to work for?
If I didn't work for Near, I would have probably went solo.
Solo?
But I don't know. Shit posting on Twitter for a living, right? That's the dream.
I heard those guys make a lot of money.
So did I.
You can always join the Sin City Crypto team in the future as well.
Yeah.
Amen.
Well, David,
We'll see.
Anything else you want to share before we kind of let you go? We know you're busy.
Anything you're excited about?
Look, guys, there's a ton of things that I'm incredibly excited about in the Near ecosystem, but there's one thing that if I don't shill again, they'll let me go. And that is Niacon. It is happening September 11th to 14th in Lisbon. You can get your tickets on niacon.org. If you peruse the Brave browser Twitter feed, if you peruse the Pagoda platform Twitter feed, the Aurora Twitter feed, you will find a discount code for 35% off somewhere in there. I would love to see you guys there too, and everybody watching.
Let's drop a link. Well, we're gonna add the link right now to our description. And then David, you down to go to Lisbon? I'll translate for you. They got really good pastries over there. I'm telling you, the espresso is amazing. I'm telling you. If you haven't had pastéis nata, it's like the little cup. Have you been to Portugal before?
Yeah, Niacon last year, man.
Okay, then you already know. There's the little pastries that come in little cups. They're like, oh man, they're so good. That and an espresso, woo!
Espresso, Rocco's eyes perked up.
Yeah.
David, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come join us and impart some of your knowledge on our community and us about Near and kind of what's going on in the future. We love the project ourselves here on the channel. We're going to work to cover the Near protocol a little more.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna see if I can't make it out there. I'm excited.
Hey.
Being Portuguese, why not? I need an excuse to go back to the homeland. So I'll try to make it out there, and then hopefully maybe some of our community members will come as well.
Yeah.
100%, guys. It's been nothing less than a pleasure. Thank you so much. I'm sure I'll see you around the ecosystem soon.
Yes, thanks, David.
All right, thank you.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Later.
You really going to Portugal?
You know what? He really sparked an interest, man. And why not, man?
Okay.
What is it, for a few days? The only thing is the plane trip from here. My son literally just flew out to Portugal earlier this week, or late last week. So I think it's like a 12 hours, 10 hours, something like that. Depends on what airport you fly to. But
all right. Well,
I'll take a look at my schedule. I'll see if I can make it happen.
Yeah. All right.
I'd be happy. Would you go? Probably not, huh?
Probably not. That's a far plane ride away, man.
Yeah. I got a little extra capital on the side for a plane ticket.
You know, with all the changes we did at the airport, Nashville, Houston, flooded, we can never make to Lisbon and back. From Atlanta. So just to let you know, it's not.
Would have spent the same hours on the plane
Exactly,
to Lisbon.
Hold on, David. Do you have a passport?
It's expired.
Okay, you okay. Do us a favor, okay? Sin City Crypto needs to go on location at some point in time in the next year outside this country. So we are going to follow up with David in approximately 1 month to see if he has gotten his passport.
Well, it takes in my list of priorities.
It takes 90 days to get a passport. Yeah. So you should
We're in Vegas, man. We grease palms here. I can get it done in a week.
The thing is like, what happens if we got to go to El Salvador? Or what happens if there's a big Bitcoin Miami no longer and it's now Bitcoin London.
Yeah,
I'd love to go to London.
You can just get away with barbecue sauce.
Oh, there is no barbecue sauce in Portugal. It literally does not exist.
Definitely not going.
I'm letting you know right now.
Count me out.
Barbecue sauce.
Done.
I have never seen it. Rocco, question: is there barbecue sauce in Italy? Have you ever seen a barbecue sauce?
I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe now there is some place where they sell it,
like.
but you need the barbecue sauce.
You know what's funny? I went to a bar one time. I went to a bar in Portugal, and it was called
barbecue
Vegas Bar. Okay. And I go in there, and they wallpapered it with the Strip, and so you see all the hotels on the Las Vegas Strip. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like talking to the waitress, and I'm like, I work right there, and I point to it, and she's like, what is?
It's funny. Yes, we have also a place in Torino. It's called Old America. You go there, you have all these sign Route 66 and some poster cactus. Yeah,
a cactus.
Cactus too.
I love cacti. All right, Robin, Market Watch, go.
All right. So taking a look here. I got the Near. Oh, you guys here. We'll pull up the Near protocol. Actually, since I have it open, taking a peek at their charts. So where is so from year to date? Obviously, everything is down. But I do like to pull a year to date up to see kind of where the height was. So $20. Right now it's at $4. And at the max, yeah. So $20 was the height of the market. That was back in January. And so on a more realistic time horizon, take a look at the 3 month. We were as low as $3. Looks like we broke under $3 once. No, not even. Okay, so $3 is major support. We're at $4.25 right now. Do you have a chart on Near?
I do.
Okay, cool. Here, why don't you give us a little TA? What do you think about a good? I'm just looking. So the bottom for Near $3 here in the last since the last height of the bull market, and the local high was basically $6. So we've been trading between $3 and $6. That's a big swing.
Yeah,
especially for a top 25 protocol.
Well, a lot of people say their vesting schedule is very aggressive, and their tokenomics aren't the best. This is what people say. But if you swap over to MyLab,
the thing is, they're still pretty new. And, when you have a new chain, you're never going to have ideal tokenomics. I mean, if you looked at Bitcoin, the tokenomics for Bitcoin were straight trash the first couple of years. He was just dumping millions of Bitcoin, out there on the network. So, it's kind of expected. Now, you look at, like, say, Ethereum, and it's like, now it's been around for so long, the token is now becoming deflationary, and the token schedule is not anything to be concerned about. And I think you can make that argument with most chains after some time.
So looking at some price action on Near, first thing, just like our man Forrest does, is throw on the easy bands. If you're looking to accumulate long term, what you want to do is you want to accumulate between the bold and the dashed green easy band. This is going to be your DCA in zone, and of course, it's not financial advice. So long term, hodl mentality. Good time to buy. Again, not financial advice. Now we take this off, and I'm going to go ahead and use the margin pressure levels, and I'm going to take the local high here, and you can see just how perfect these line up. All right, and our man Forrest has done such a good job. I mean, literally the bottom was a 1x short level. What Robin mentioned at $3. We wicked down there twice, made a double bottom, shot up to this local high of $6.11. Now, this 3x short level is what I'm looking at for in the very short term resistance. and in the medium term, support. So what we saw a crash from $6 through the 3x short level, and then we found support at this 2x short level, just a touch over $4. We see this nice big green candle forming. If you are a swing trader or you're looking to take profits, well, not take profits. If you're waiting to get in, I do think we will get a rejection at this 3x short level sitting at $4.58. If you want to play the channel, I would wait. Put your buy orders in around $4.52, $4.53, and then ride the sucker down to $4, or if you're going to short it, ride it down to $4.07. And then once it's here, we want to see what it does. What I'd like to see is it blow through this 3x short level and either make a new local high or at least test this local high. And then the next thing you want to see is building support on top of this 3x short level.
That is a massive drop. I'm just like, I'm trying to like,
and this is
I'm trying to zoom in more. And I know most people say not to zoom in, you know, more zoom out, but like, look at that drop, man. That is from $6 down to basically $4. That is substantial. And if you have conviction in the project, which we do, I mean the ride back up, I mean that's that's a 50%. You know, so basically you throw it, not financial advice, you throw in 1,000, you get back up to $6, you're at, 1,500. It's an easy come up. And, I think it'd be hard to make an argument against that. Now you could say, hey, you know, Bitcoin and crypto in general is going to take a further pullback. I do think is on the table. I just don't think it's on the table in the next couple of weeks. I do think, it's going to be a little bit later. I think we're going to consolidate here at right around 20K. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then by the way, this is a daily chart. So for a total of looks like about 7-8 candles, 7-8 days, we just saw red, and these were big red candles. They weren't little tiny ones either.
So real quick, we do got 41 people in the. It's pretty cool. We got 41 people here in the chat. We also have 41 likes, so we got a 100% like ratio. That's pretty badass. So I can't even use my sign because everyone's already smashed the button. So anyways, I do want to say when we get to 65 viewers, we're going to have a crypto party. And then just a quick shout out. I did see in the chat here, Crypto and Yogurt says, I'm late. Had a wireless install this morning. Hola. Now, here's my next question. You had a wireless install. That means you know something about wireless installing. So we have a lot of issues here when it comes to IP addresses.
If you did wireless install, that means you know something about wireless installs.
We got issues.
I would hope so. I would really hope so. Also, Jimmy Weibel in our Discord. By the way, you're not in the Discord. Go join.
Who's that?
Jimmy Weibel.
Who?
Jimmy.
Yeah, okay.
There it is. You know, the only person that can say people's names correctly. Jimmy Weibel. He offered his...
If you guys are in Vegas, you want to come over here and poke around with our network and see what the hell we messed up. We literally... somebody else said, do you guys work in casinos? Yeah, that is where we came from. We came from the casino world. We all worked in the hospitality service industry, particularly in the restaurant side. So we have no idea what the hell we're doing here. We just buy cameras and equipment, and then when we find something that sticks, we run with it. And so anyways, if you have expertise, you guys want to come down to the studio and laugh at our setup, please do. We would love it.
Broke Yoshi said, I thought, yeah, the Doritos thing, I think I'm in the extreme minority, so I'm not going to ask that question. Barbecue chicken pizza, though.
Next video,
we'll see. All right, what else we got, Robin?
That's all I got on my end. Well, let me take a look. Actually, you know what? I didn't look up any actual Bitcoin numbers. So taking a look at Bitcoin, we're sitting at $21,432.63. We are consolidating, and so if you take a look at where we're at in the last 7 days, we did fall off of this $23,000 support level. We're now at 21. I do think we're going to hold over 20K, at least in the short term. But do you think the teens are in the near future, David? Next 2 months?
Maybe. But as far as short term, if you want to swap over to mine, Rocco. As far as short term, so one thing I like to use, it's a Japanese indicator called the Ichimoku Cloud. So it essentially has 5 moving averages. And I'm going to show you 3 or 4 different time frames. This is a 30-minute time frame. This is bullish. It would be extremely bullish if we can close a candle above this. It's called a conversion line. Okay. above this conversion line, say 9-day moving average. Everything else is in place. The cloud is green. The lagging indicator is above the price action. We just want to close above this, and that'll be bullish. If you go to the 1 hour chart, same thing. Cloud turned green, lagging indicator is above, and we just need a close over this 9-day moving average. And if I swap over to the 4 hour and I shrink this down a little bit, now we have seen, if I just super zoom in, the blue literally just crossed the red. That's our first bullish indicator. Second bullish indicator would be for this cloud to turn from red to green. And then the third one would be for the price to move above the cloud. And the last one is this lagging indicator. So higher time frames, not as bullish in the short term, but on the lower time frames, extremely bullish if we can close above the 9-day moving average. Also, taking a look at Bitcoin. So this is the exchange net position change on exchanges for Bitcoin. You can see since June, what is this? June 13th, I believe. June 13th, out of, what is it, 60, 70 days. 70 days, only 2 of the days have we seen more inflow than outflow of Bitcoin to and from exchanges. So people are consistently, I mean, look at this massive block from June 17th until July 17th. So 1 month, nothing but people taking Bitcoin off their exchanges. Obviously, we know why, Celsius, Terra Luna, and that trend has continued. What we need for a big price movement in the short term is a catalyst. Can the merge be that catalyst? I don't know, Robin. Can the merge be a catalyst for Bitcoin? No. So what will the catalyst be? Maybe another country adopting it. Maybe Brazil comes out, top 10 economy in the world, and says, we're adopting Bitcoin as national legal tender. Maybe that'll be the catalyst. Maybe, just maybe, a spot ETF gets approved.
I think once on the global front, once we shake the economic situation on the global scale, once there's some of this uncertainty kind of dies down. I mean, you have talks of 18% inflation coming in the EU, 14% over in England. You have uncertainty in China. There's all kinds of wars going on, trade implications, supply shock, the lingering effects of the pandemic and COVID situations. You have monkeypox. There's all kinds of stuff going on right now. And so I don't think a nation state is going to pull the trigger right now. But I'm telling you, it is on the horizon. And everybody assumes that what you need is legal tender and legal. You don't need legal tender. Because first of all, any major country is not going to get rid of their currency. Okay, let's just say France decides to roll up with Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like they're going to you know what, we're going all in on Bitcoin. Just name me a country in the top 20 that is going to go all in on Bitcoin. Okay, you mentioned Brazil as an example. Brazil's not going to get rid of their currency. What they'll do is they'll say, hey, you can buy and sell with Bitcoin. That's great. That's cool. That means for the people that want to use it can get onto the network. That's not what's going to absolutely moonshot crypto and Bitcoin in particular. What it's going to be is going to be treasury reserves for nations. When a country decides to purchase and hold Bitcoin instead of gold, as an example, or even a small allocation percentage, that is when it's going to be an arms race. That's when it's going to be one nation over another fighting to control the network and control how much Bitcoin they have, because the price is going to moonshot quickly. If we take that same example, you have Brazil. They buy, say, $100 trillion or $100 billion worth of Bitcoin. At $100 billion worth of Bitcoin, that's 1/5 of the network. And then on top of that, you're going to see a price increase. You're going to see other countries like, okay, hey, Brazil is trying to control the network. Then you have another, then maybe Argentina jumps in. They're like, hey, we're going to go $20 billion. And then you see France decides to jump in. They get 50, 100 billion. Anyways, this ends up being an arms race. It's a competition of who can buy and scoop up more, because there's only 19 million Bitcoin in circulation. And it's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be a fight to get as much as you can. And you know who's gonna come out on top?
BlackRock.
It's gonna, well, yeah, they're gonna come out on top, that's for sure. But the people that are holding 1 to 10 Bitcoin, you're gonna be holding millions of dollars off of the effect.
Multiples millions of dollars.
Yeah, you're just off of the cause and effect of nations battling for that. This is already here. People are already doing, nations already do this. Nations go out and they bid and they go out and they fight to get gold and other commodities and oils. It's literally a tool, and it's something that these companies are using to retain their wealth. We see that the dollar cost index, so outside of the US, now the US ain't gonna do this right now. Or maybe they will, but I don't think they will. But outside the US, you're seeing massive inflation. You're seeing the debasement of other currencies, probably because it's tied to the US, and not to mention all of the global issues that we talked about. But you're going to see that other nations are going to try to hedge their bet. And what do we do as retail? We talk about inflation is destroying your purchasing power. Well, you know what? Inflation here in the US is destroying the purchasing power in other countries. And so at some point, a country, one of the hundreds of thousands, are going to stand up and be like, you know what? Why don't we hedge this damn bet? Why don't we start holding instead of keeping our money in a savings account? Think of the retail. The retail mentality is the same in nations and corporations. So let me protect my purchasing power. Let me protect my economic value, my store of value, and put some of this in Bitcoin, because it can't be manipulated. Well, it can't be manipulated, but it can't.
Anything can be manipulated.
The circulation cannot be manipulated. And politics can't print it. And so you can hedge your country's prosperity with that. And so it's not this next massive, crazy moonshot that Bitcoin's going to go on isn't going to come from legal tender, because they're not going to get rid of their own tender. China's not going to get rid of
You're not talking chicken tenders, are you?
Yeah, you're not going to get rid of chicken tenders either. You're not going to get rid of Brazil. The U.S. is not going to get rid of the dollar and start rolling out Bitcoin as the only way to pay. It's not going to happen. Even El Salvador, your most bullish case scenario, they still use the dollar down there. That's still the go-to currency. People are predominantly, majority of the transactions, I don't know the numbers, but I saw something is like 90% of the transactions, over 90%, are still in dollars. So you just wait. Just wait. I'm telling you, just wait. When countries start battling for Bitcoin, if you're holding a ticket to the show, aka a Bitcoin, whoo, it's gonna be a good watch, baby. It's gonna be a good watch, man. Real quick, also another good watch, Ethereum.
Hold on, wait.
Ethereum is rallying, bro.
Wait.
Hold on. I looked at the Ethereum chart literally about 10 minutes ago. Is at 3%. 5 minutes ago, it was at 4%. Right now, it's up 5% in the last 24 hours.
Okay, before you move on, Crypto and Yogurt says he needs an Ola or his life is not complete. Will you give him an Ola?
Crypto Yogurt. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
All right.
So Ethereum. Ethereum is rallying right now. I don't know what is going on. I don't know if it's just the time of the day or something. I don't know. But as you can see here,
of the month.
So we were at a flat 1600 earlier this morning. And then last night we were under 1600. So we are at 1660 basically. So, well, man, I think, we've had the consolidation here on, we've had the consolidation on Ethereum. Maybe it's time for another moonshot. And then just taking a look at the biggest gainers and losers for today. Chili's is up 20% curve as well. Lido was significantly down yesterday, so a little bounce back for that. And then some of the big losers here. You got Trust Wallet down just 1%. So everything is pretty much in the green for the entire market. And looking at crypto bubbles, it all says it here as well. Nothing really in the red. So there you go. Crypto Fear and Greed Index though is at 28. So pretty similar to yesterday. And then lastly, the stock market, pretty flat. We do have NVIDIA's quarterly reports coming out today. I don't know if they're out yet, but anyways, we want to take a look at them because they are one of the strongest tech-driven stocks, and they are also widely integrated with this whole Ethereum, and obviously they're the go-to graphics cards for mining Ethereum. And so I'm curious to see what that company looks like now that Ethereum is going to proof of stake. And where are the miners going to go? Where do you think the miners are going to go?
Hawaii.
Hawaii. There you go.
You know, my 7-year-old always wants to talks about going to Hawaii. Well, something important came up. Rocco, pull up my laptop. So the PMI. No, we ain't talking about your home. We're talking about the Purchaser Management Index. Just fell to 45. That is near recession levels. The services is down to 44.1, where an increase to almost 50 was expected. Now, think of this as another way to measure essentially growth of the economy, kind of like the GDP does. And then I think, right here. So here's how they take into account. You have these are the metrics: new orders from customers, production, employment, whether it's increased or decreased, supplier deliveries, are they slower or faster, increases or decreases in inventories, prices, whether they're paying more or less for products and services, backlog of orders, which measures whether the order backlog is growing or declining, new export orders, and then obviously imports as well. Why is this important? This is a little more in-depth than what the GDP measures, which is consumer spending, government spending, business spending, import, export, the net of that, add it all together, divide it up, that's your GDP. This is a little more on the personal level. You're getting stats and figures from businesses. Hey, how are the supplies? Are they lagging? Are they getting here on time? Are you spending more because gas prices are high? Is there a backlog of inventory, which means people aren't buying? How's your real employment, real wages adjusted for inflation? And anytime you're under 50, it is a shrinking in the economy. And we, again, if I go back to this tweet chart, we haven't been under 50 since the mini recession in 2020, the pandemic. And before then, it was obviously the Great Recession back in 2008. So, macro, not looking good. I'm in the belief, though, that Bitcoin will buck the trend. Here's a good thing. If I'm wrong, great. I'll buy more Bitcoin if it goes down to 10 grand. If I'm right, great. My portfolio grows. You got any thoughts to add to this before we move on?
No. There is a big a number coming out for inflation. The one that excludes the energy and
the core.
Yeah, the core inflation that comes out Friday. So that alongside the Jerome Powell. You know what's interesting is this is the first time they're live streaming. So not only will Sin City Crypto be live streaming, but so will Jerome Powell. We're actually competing on Friday for viewers. Who do you think will have more viewers? So they're going to be live streaming an update, and I'm curious to see what they say. But also big core inflation numbers coming out Friday as well. And then David, I put something in the drive there. I want you to pull it up. It's a video because I don't have sound hooked up on my video. Anyways, guys. For our trip to Atlanta, we did a members only video. And so we want to give you a little sneak peek. Why do I want to give you a sneak peek? Because I'm trying to sell you on our membership. And the reason I want to sell you on membership, because there's some value there. And, there it is. So basically, we're going to give you a little sneak peek of our trip to Atlanta. Just remember, if you are a member here, we absolutely love you. We love everybody here. But that is how we pay our lease here, and
we'll show you
we also bring you some cool content. It's more of a sneak peek into the lives outside of just kind of crypto charts. So
this is some content. If you ever question whether me and Robin really truly argue this much, the answer is yes, we do. All right, so I'm just gonna play like 20 seconds because our members are the only ones that can see the entire video. All right, here you go.
And we haven't had a new member in 10 days.
Just follow the fucking easy to follow.
am
directions.
I
they
am
come to the
directionally
fucking-
challenged.
Yes, you
and
are.
Robin has to pay
directionally
attention
challenged.
to where the phone tells me to go. Robin, make it right here, make it left here.
No, the phone has to tell me. Freaking out.
I'm not freaking out. I just don't understand why you're so fucking.
I just
about
put the
that.
address in the fucking in the maps,
It's, okay,
and I'm following the maps. That's, what is,
now
what is
it's
so
not
hard
even
to
about the
understand?
map. It's not even about the road. It's not even about the map. It's about how stubborn you are.
Din, 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 din.
Where's the music? Play the music.
I got the music.
Oh man.
And then we also have some behind the scenes at BitBoy too. If you're always kind of curious on what that looks like. What?
We should leave that to the members.
Well, hold on. Just show them a picture of the outside. Look at that.
All right. So
This is the when you pull up.
so Ben,
This dude's studio is gangster.
he bought the entire building. It's a 40,000 square foot building. He bought the entire thing. This thing is huge. I mean, they literally have 10 to 15 rooms that they can essentially just walk into, set up their computers and film. And it'll look like a completely different set. And so just when you think you're doing things on a bigger level, you go somewhere here like Hit Network and BitBoy and you're just like, holy. So if you want to watch the whole video, become a member. The link is in the description of this video. The cheapest one is $3. So yeah, there you go. All right, Rocco, let's move on to our talking points. All right. We briefly brought this up with our guest yesterday, Wendy O, which, by the way, if you didn't see that, if you didn't see the live yesterday, go watch. Go watch. That was a great collaboration with Wendy O. So pull out my laptop. Celsius chief F everyone over officer refutes claims that it will not be able to fund operations for 2022. The company is struggling to fund its day-to-day activities after withdrawing its motion to hire back its ex-CFO at $92,000 a month. The current CFO has come forward to address the reports that have been going around that the company would run out of money in October. The CFO revealed that Celsius still had $81 million that it could tap into for day-to-day operations. When asked where the money would be coming from, he explained that Bitfinex was providing $61 million in loans. Additionally, they were expecting to save about $20 million from selling some of its mining rigs and also saving on taxes. Here's my question. First of all, what day-to-day operations? What day-to-day operations? If you're selling your mining rigs, okay, that was part of your plan to pay people back. It's to mine Bitcoin and give them their Bitcoin back. But apparently, you're looking to sell your mining rigs. And then you want to hire back an executive and pay him almost $100,000 a month? $100,000 a month? God. Go ahead. God, the greed of these companies.
Celsius is a bunch of crooks, bro. Straight up, man. And
I'm trying not to curse, okay? But it's really, really freaking hard when people are literally homeless. They're homeless because they all their money was on Celsius. Now, whether that was the right decision or not does not matter. There's people who are living on the streets because all their money is on Celsius. And you're over here putting in a motion to the judge. You want to hire someone back, a CFO, and pay him $100,000 a month?
Well, I mean, that's what you do when you go through bankruptcy. Is that the company still operates? You don't pay your debts or your creditors, and you basically stay afloat. You got to pay people to stay afloat. Sad reality. Honestly, you know, if you personally file for bankruptcy, you don't have to go live on the streets. Still keep your house and car and job and buy stuff that you shouldn't be buying. It's up to you, man. Just the system we work in, man.
So it is of grave importance that before you put any money on any exchanges or lending protocols, do extensive research. I mean, literally.
Yeah, if this shows you anything, is that a company can...
They don't give a crap about you.
Yeah, it just shows you that outside of morals and efficacy, a company can basically, every 8 years, they can legally just take your money, just exit, and then just get by with the bare minimum. until they rebuild and sell and rebrand, and then they can go at it again. And then 8 years later, they can do it again. That's the sad reality. And so if you look at every investment and every company in that light, that, hey, this company could close, fold up, could leave, could go insolvent, and they could walk away with my hard-earned money. If you think in that mentality going in, you'll be better equipped to withstand the volatility and uncertainties of this market. Because one, crypto is extremely volatile. This crypto space is extremely new. And so if you just treat it like that, everything is going to get shaken out. It's the same way as investing in the dot-coms back in the early 2000s. You know, there was only a handful of companies that made it out that we currently use from that time era. And it's going to be the same thing moving forward. 20 years from now, we're going to look at this coin market cap list, and there's going to be probably Bitcoin, Ethereum, and like one other thing. Everything else is going to be unrecognizable. And so you need to prepare yourself for that to happen. You need to prepare yourself for entering and exiting your positions so that way you can maximize your gains. Because I'll be honest with you, I was talking to somebody yesterday. I ran into my buddy. I ran into a guy named Jason yesterday at where was Cafe Rio. Anyways, my boy had a crypto.com card. So I was like, oh, hey, man, crypto.com. So anyways, we sat down, we chatted, and we were just kind of talking some crypto. And, he's just kind of poking around and seeing, what's a good crypto to invest in, or, what's a good space to kind of to look at. And I was like, man, how much time you got to research crypto? And obviously, and then his answer was, I don't have a lot of time. I'm not actively. I'm like, just stick to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, Ethereum, man, if you don't have the conviction, and I'm not saying that you need to, but I'm just saying that, like, if you don't got the time to research and you ain't got time to identify a problem arising in a chain or an ecosystem, or you can see that things are going to change because you are informed, if you lack that information, you're not going to be able to move and pivot. And you know what? If you look at, here's a good example. Terra Luna. It took over a week for that thing to depeg and go to zero. It took over a week. But if you had some kind of research and some kind of beat on what's going on in the crypto space, you could have exited. Now, you could have exited with 80 cents to the dollar, 85 cents to the dollar, but you would have been well informed. You would have seen the risks in front, and you could have exited your position. Now, if you are somebody that just periodically just throws money into something and you don't have time to research, don't be researching in low cap projects, because you know what? Most of those are going to go to zero. And if you ain't prepared to exit at the right time, you're not going to be well informed enough to do that. And you're going to watch your thing go to zero. You're not going to open up your app. You're going to open it up 15 days at a time. You're going to look and you're like, okay, cool, I'm at $1,000. You're going to check it 15 days later, you're at $200. You're like, well, what happened? You can rest assured, you go into Bitcoin. If you're new in this game, you ain't got time to watch videos or research. You can rest assured, you buy Bitcoin, you good, man. I could buy Bitcoin, check in 15 days. I know I'm going to be fine. And if it pulls back a little bit, so what? I know it'll bounce back. Can't say the same thing about everything else, though.
What are your thoughts on Nike?
I like Nike.
Like how much? Like more than Adidas, more than Reebok, Puma?
Yeah, it's the gold standard. It's the Bitcoin of the shoe industry.
Well, apparently they are also the gold standard for NFTs. Robert, I'll pull up my laptop. Nike NFT revenue surpasses $185 million despite the crypto winter. Despite NFT, the Q2 trading volume dropping by 40% as the interest in NFTs start to wane. Global sports brand Nike has found itself profiting from the digital tokens amid the crypto winter. Their NFT-related projects have made the company over $185 million in revenue. And guys, it is not even close. Nike, just off of secondary sales, $1.2 billion in sales volume. Okay, sale, not revenue, sales. Primary sales, 93 million. Total royalties, 92 million. And then total revenue, $185 million. The next closest one is Dolce & Gabbana at 25 million. Is there, first of all, are you surprised?
Okay, so this is basically designer brands, right?
Yes.
That's essentially what it is. So they're leaving out all the NFT sector. So just keep that in mind. You're basically putting which this is exactly that. But I just want you to think, Nike isn't the leader in NFTs. They're the leader in NFT volume and sales in their niche, in their designer brand. And I don't think. Well, here's the thing. Metaverse ain't here yet. And so this amount of money. Now, how much was it? 100 million?
185 million.
185 million.
Revenue.
So,
And remember, we're Bored Apes went from 120 to 65 ETH.
so what this, basically what I'm getting at is what this space will become is an absolute behemoth and giant. But it's going to be a while, man. It ain't going to change. If it was me,
So if
I
this-
wouldn't be getting into this.
So if this is not so if 185 is not a behemoth number, what is? 100 billion? 50
I
billion?
would say at least $1 billion. I mean, so you're realistically got to,
we're 20%
10x.
in.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that it's irrelevant. I'm just saying that for me personally, myself personally, I don't see a moonshot. Okay, how about this? What I expect the next bull run to be the next catalyst to the parabolic rise. Last bull run, we saw the rise of DeFi, we saw the rise of Metaverse, we saw the rise of meme coins. There's going to be 2 to 4 different themes or sectors in the next crypto cycle. And I don't think that Metaverse or designer brands are going to be part of it. I'm not saying they're not going to grow. I just don't think they're going to be the ones leading the charge. I think NFTs in the form of music and entertainment is something to keep an eye out for. Ticketing as well. I know Wendio talked about that yesterday. I have been a proponent of that. I think the play to earn space / Web3, it is pretty close. You know what I mean? Like the metaverse and its all-encompassing 3D freaking virtual headsets, that's not here yet. And it probably won't be here for 2 years. So I'm thinking, what is going to pop off in 2 years? You know what? The Candy Crush games, those are pretty easy to make. And if you can make a fun one that pays you, bro, that it might be the place to go. The Pokemon Go with cash. Could you imagine throwing your Pokeball over there in Pokemon Go and catching Cashola?
What about Power Rangers?
And Pops. Yeah.
You like Power Rangers?
I do like. What is your favorite color Power Rangers, man?
I liked the red one.
the red one. No, the black one. But the black one came
Black
late.
one was badass.
The black one came late, and then you had the white Power Ranger too.
White Power. The green one was dope.
The green one.
Well-
That was the guy with the long hair. I think he cut somebody with a sword, bro. Did you hear about that?
No, like actually in real life.
Yeah.
No.
He killed his roommate with a sword.
Well, guess what?
Like he watched too many of his episodes.
watched some stuff too many times.
So hold on a
The
second.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Rocco, pull up my laptop.
I'm gonna Google this here.
The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are coming to the NFT world. So just to kind of brief, and we're not going to spend too much time on this one. They're coming to the metaverse. The collection called the Power Rangers Digital Pop will be available today, August 23rd, and will depict iconic characters like Zordon and Scorpia. The standard card will cost $10, and the premium one will cost $30, with each having a total of $22,500. They will also, the owners of these NFTs will be able to redeem for a physical identical item at no cost.
Okay, timeout. Switch it over to me, Rocco.
Oh, good.
And it's your favorite. So Power Ranger actor.
This was not, was this the Red Ranger?
Yeah, it was.
the Red Ranger.
So Power Ranger actor arrested in fatal sword attack. Former star of Power Rangers TV series been arrested on suspicion of fatal stabbing his roommate with a sword.
That's not really funny, but
it's not, man. But
it's just ironic.
anyways, yeah, he played the Red Rangers.
All right,
The
I
red.
stand corrected. I like the Blue Ranger. He was the guy with the glasses, like the really technical, smart guy, right?
Which one?
The blue one. He was like the nerd. I don't want to say nerd, but he was like the.
Yeah.
It was like the TA guy.
What about the pink one, the girl?
The girl was cool. I mean, obviously,
She was
as a
cool.
little boy growing up, I liked the.
Somebody you can relate to? Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for that save. All right, let's move on to crypto lending platforms are increasing their rates due to higher borrowing demand. Savings rates on crypto holdings have increased across lending platforms, despite several high-profile lending firms collapsing in June and July. Celsius. Following the collapse of Terra, lending companies faced extreme difficulty operating. Many were forced to slash their rates to encourage more borrowing. Yet now this trend is starting to reverse as lending rates are becoming more lucrative. So now there's too many borrowers, not enough lenders. Does that sound familiar, guys? Sounds like what the federal government does, what the U.S. Fed does when they try to keep in balance supply and demand. Yet it never seems to work. Interesting. Rates have largely increased across major lending platforms, including BlockFi, Gemini, and Crypto.com, which, if you remember, a couple months ago, they slashed their interest rates. And now they've all increased them in the month of August. Here's, are we, okay, so take crypto out of it. Look at just the consumer lending side, okay? Consumer lending in the consumer borrowing in the United States. People's credit card balances have increased like threefold since the pandemic. During the pandemic, the number actually decreased. And then coming out of the pandemic, right around mid-2021, that number is starting to increase. And it has just literally, I don't think skyrocketed is too big of a word. Since inflation, people are going to their credit cards to cover the gap they have between what they were paying and the reason they're paying more because of inflation. The real job wage rate growth is not even close to what it should be. You hear people are getting raises, but those numbers are not adjusted for inflation. So yes, you could pay me more money, but if I'm not outpacing or at least keeping up with inflation, what is the point? So we are seeing the same scenario play out in the crypto lending place. Guys, have we not learned our lesson? Have we not learned our lesson? Is this a bad idea that they're trying to bring more lenders in? And is there a reason the lenders aren't coming in? Robin, is the risk too high right now?
Well, with the increase in rates, it's just the standard practice. If you're a lender, your interest rates usually reflect risk. And during the run-up, during the bull cycle, during the parabolic rise, everybody's making money. There's less risk. There's not as many projects going under. There's more money in the system. And so now you're seeing a situation where lenders have to reevaluate where they're at because the risk is probably tenfold where it was before. I mean, you're talking about lending money to retail. Also, not just retail, but these institutions are borrowing money from one another constantly.
3 years.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's obviously you get over leveraged during the run up, but if you have an opportunity to reevaluate and risk manage in the middle of a bear market, it's a no-brainer to do so because there is a lot more risk associated, and we don't know how far down Bitcoin and crypto is going to go. We are in the middle of a recession, so you should prepare for a $10,000 Bitcoin. I mean,
You said 7,000 yesterday. Make up your mind.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 10,000 goes to 7,000. I know they're two different numbers, but
Yesterday was Monday, so it doesn't count.
yeah, and I like to change my my target dates every few hours. But anyways,
It's in a 4 hours chart.
Is there an indicator for this on TradingView?
Yes.
Robin's moving average?
so guys, just be ready for big swings. And Bitcoin and crypto will always surprise you. When you think it can't go no lower, it does. And when you think you've reached the top and you're like, holy crap. You know what? The beginning of the bull run, everybody was freaking out because Bitcoin was at 30,000. They were like, yo, Elon bought Bitcoin, Tesla's in on Bitcoin, whatever. 30,000. Everybody was buzzing about it. It hit 65,000. At the time, And now that only happened a few months later. So at the time, I'm pretty sure nobody was like, hey, man, why don't I buy this $30,000 Bitcoin, which is crazy overvalued in my opinion. This is what people's mentality was. And all I got to do is wait a few months and it'll 2x. It wasn't a lot of people saying that. Wasn't a lot. That wasn't the mentality. And $60,000 was, outside of maybe some bullish experts. Most people were like, hey, the retail. They were like, hey, that's crazy. And so right now, the same thing can happen. $7,000 might sound crazy, but it hit $3,000 in 2020. It was only 2 years ago, man.
You know what I love about this channel, guys? Sin City Crypto will be right, whether the bottom's already in or whether it's going to go to 10,000. So stay tuned.
Also, a quick shout out. We have
Cliff Smith.
Cliff Smith. He said he's in Sin City right now. So, Cliff. Hola! And we also had Oops in here earlier, I think it was.
Oopsie doopsies.
Oops was here for the near
Cliff,
content.
Cliff, just don't lose all your money at the casino, right?
And then Oops, if you're still around watching, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Yes.
And then what else?
We have one more article to get to. And then we are finito.
One more?
Yes. Roquino. Congressman demands answers from Miss Janet Yellen on the Tornado Cash sanctions. Crypto booster Congressman Tom Emmer is demanding answers from Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen for the agency's recent Tornado Cash sanctions. They quote from Mr. Emmer, the sanctions are unique, however, in that they were not levied against a person or an entity, but against privacy-enabling code. He goes on to say, how does OFAC intend to uphold the appeals process for the sanctioned addresses that have no ability to appeal the sanctions to the OFAC? Given that the Tornado Cash backend will continue to operate unchanged as an anonymizing technology for as long as Ethereum continues to operate, who or what entity did OFAC believe was reasonably responsible for imposing controls on the Tornado Cash blockchain contracts? Do you think this is going to get reversed, Robin? Just real quick.
No.
You think it's going to stick?
Yep.
Which is people are going to work their way around it?
Yep.
VPN?
Yep. It's concerning though. So the gentleman that founded Tornado Cash, so he wrote the program 3-4 years ago, and he ended up. So he wrote it at the time. Nothing illegal, right? No sanctions at the time. He just wrote code and he put it out there. He got arrested a couple weeks ago, when all this happened. Now, it's not exactly sure what he got arrested for, but assuming,
right,
timing wise, probably has something to do with sanctions and laundering money and all of this. And so it raises an interesting thought that if he wrote a code that at the time was legal, then he basically took his hands off and just let it grow, and he got arrested for that code that he wrote years ago, right, that was legal. Is that ethically and morally right?
No.
That's like me raising a dog and then going and taking it to an animal shelter, and then it gets adopted by somebody else and it bites somebody, and then I get served for that. Like, well, you raised a dog, and obviously you played a little too rough with it when it was a puppy because it came out and bit somebody later. I'm like, I got no control over that. Like, I founded this project. I wrote the code years ago. There was no issues. It ran on the internet. It's software. It lives on its own. It's decentralized. The contracts can't be changed. It's a protocol that has nobody driving the damn thing. And then you sanction it and you arrest the founder that wrote the code years ago. This is a problem. This is a fundamental problem with our space. The regulators, Janet Yellen, they don't understand how this technology works. Why don't you go arrest Bill Gates? He created Windows. They used the Windows computer to launder money at some point, right? This saying is stupid, man.
I couldn't agree more. All right. Before we do
we
our
also got NBF new here. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Never bet the Falcons, huh? Interesting. So before we sign off, this isn't an article, and it's just something funny. I'll go pull up my laptop. My entire financial future is in the hands of this amigo. And it's our friend, Mr. Vitalik, in ETH Mexico with a sombrero.
ETH Mexico was.
Are those jean shorts?
That was this
Or board
this
shorts?
was last weekend. It was ETH Mexico.
What kind of chain is that?
Is he wearing jean shorts?
No, I think they're board shorts.
Okay.
Board shorts.
They don't. They're wrinkly as hell.
Yeah. I mean, when you're
Dude,
sitting,
man, how much ETH you got, bro?
well, he sold a lot at the top, so
Well, go get that laundered, bro.
buy it back and then sell it again.
I'm sure
at
he's
the
staying
top.
at a hotel. They have a free laundry service.
You know, the only things that make the difference between the microphone stand and him are the jeans, right?
Wow. I'm sure there's
one.
someone out there that will try to cancel you for that, Rocco.
Yeah.
All right. Before we sign off, guys, make sure you go in the description, check out our link tree. It has every single link you want in there. It's got the Discord link, Twitter link, merchandise link, member link, a link to tap into the camera in Robin's home if you want to see what he does on his free time. Just kidding, of course. Also, make sure you go check out our merch store brought to you by the Don himself. In and Out Crypto, there is a special tab for Sin City merchandise. Make sure you go check that out. Also, this week, Forrest will be coming on Thursday instead of Friday. He's got a wedding to go to, he said. So he'll be joining us on Thursday. That's pretty much all.
And Jimmy is also saying 1990s called. They want their shorts back. And he also says those were normal shorts. And all that ETH is making them long.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Cliff Smith, this channel is super underrated. We believe so as well, my friend. Thank you so much.
Well, you're here early.
You are here early. It's like getting into ETH in 2015. Think of it that way. So stay with us. We go to the top. We're taking
My
every single one
most
of you with
favorite
us.
thing of this production is definitely the lavender color behind David. It's a
You
good
know,
look on you.
Lavender is supposed to put you to sleep, but it's having a different
I have
effect on us.
the periwinkle blue behind me.
Periwinkle blue. Interesting. On that, or Rocco, roll the outro. Crypto Familia, we thank you guys so much for spending another day with us. Huge thank you to David Morrison of Near Protocol for joining us. We will be covering a little more on Near. We like the project as well. So stay tuned to Sin City Crypto. We will see you all tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Vegas time. On behalf of myself, Robin, and Rocco, we love you guys. Peace.
Dum, dum, dum.